Welcome back, and in our top business story today, 2 new berths for fuel bunkering will be constructed at the Port of Fujairah. That's according to its Chief Financial Officer, Khalil Ibrahim. The construction is expected to cost 100 million dirhams, increasing the number of oil berths to 20. According to details in a report released by Emirates news agency WAM, this will give the port a total handling capacity of around 100 million tonnes. That's the equivalent to around 750 million barrels of crude oil and petroleum products per year. Officials from Fujairah added that the new berths would assist the Port of Fujairah to integrate its services in line with the rapid growth in the port, especially in the oil berth sector. The port receives over 5,500 ships annually, in addition to visits by a number of ships that receive logistical services in the anchorage area adjacent to the port. In order to avoid congestion in the harbour basin, the Port of Fujairah is currently working to establish a new port to receive small ships, with an initial capacity of 150, including locomotives, at the south of the current location of the Port of Fujairah, at a cost of 220 million dirhams in the first construction phase. Total spending on halal tourism in the UAE is projected to increase by 4.4% this year. That's according to a study conducted by the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The report also predicted that the outbound family travel expenditure of Emirati citizens is set to rise by 3.6% this year. The study comes ahead of the 3rd Global Islamic Economy Summit, which will be held in Dubai on October the 11th and 12th, and tackles family tourism as one of a spectrum of subjects under the Islamic economy label. The UAE is considered both a top origin and top destination country for family tourism, which is an umbrella term used to refer to the body of Sharia-compliant halal travel offerings. The Global Muslim Travel Index for 2016 ranked the UAE 2nd in the world in terms of Muslim travel friendliness. That was behind Malaysia, a rise of 1 place on the previous year. The report said that industry experts expect GCC families who seek cultural experiences and Muslim-friendly facilities to increasingly target the UAE, Morocco, and Asian destinations such as Malaysia, Indonesia, India, and the Philippines in 2016, while visits to Turkey are expected to drop, dragged down by recent instability. Singapore-based halal travel specialist Crescent Rating predicted spending in the global Muslim travel segment to hit $200 billion by 2020, driven by growth in the number of Muslim travellers from the current 117 million to an estimated 168 million travellers worldwide by 2020. And Saudi Arabia's increase in visa fees for travellers is expected to earn the country millions of rials from pilgrims without dampening its tourism figures. That's according to travel industry experts. The country's new visa regime, which came into effect today, does not affect pilgrims for Hajj or Umrah travelling to the country for the first time. As a part of its efforts to diversify non-oil income, subsequent religious visits and business travel will cost 2,000 Saudi rials, which is the equivalent to 1,957 dirhams for a single entry visa. Previously, religious tourists were exempt from all visa fees. For all other travellers, entry visas will also cost more, with a multiple entry visa now costing 3,000 Saudi rials for 6 months, 5,000 Saudi rials for a year, and 8,000 for 2 years. This compares with the 515 Saudi rial multiple entry visas previously charged to travellers from the UAE. According to reports, the new visa regime could bring in millions of rials from the religious travellers alone. Saudi Arabia received 1.32 million overseas Hajj pilgrims out of 1.86 million Hajj pilgrims this year. That's according to the General Authority for Statistics in Saudi Arabia last month. Last year, Saudi Arabia received 18 million international visitors, down from 18.25 million in 2014. That's according to the United Nations World Tourism Organization. The move comes after figures on Friday revealed that the kingdom's economy grew at its slowest rate in more than 3 years between April and June, with gross domestic product adjusted for inflation rising 1.4% from a year earlier in the second quarter of 2016, after growth of 1.5% in the first quarter. With Jitex Shopper now in full swing, new research shows that the latest trend in technology, wearables, is booming, with the Middle East and Africa market for high-tech wearables showing 66% growth year-on-year in the second quarter of 2016, with fitness trackers driving the increase. The latest figures from International Data Corporation revealed a total of 482,000 units were sold in the region during the quarter. The global technology research and consultancy firm's findings indicate that shipments of basic wearables or devices that do not support third-party applications increased 79.8%, while shipments of smart wearables, which are devices that do support third-party applications, increased 40.5% over the same period. According to IDC, price points for the devices continue to fall, which is further fueling growth, while smart wearables are also gaining traction in the region. The authors of the study added that uptake is not so strong for the more expensive smart devices, as consumers don't yet perceive much added value over more affordable models. A splurge by early adopters also helped drive the initial growth of smart wearables, but IDC did say that it expects the next wave of adoption for those devices to come from value-seeking consumers or those looking to upgrade from basic wearables. Looking at 2016 as a whole, IDC said that it expects the MEA wearables market to grow 33.9% year-on-year in unit terms. This growth will be driven by a 42.5% increase in shipments of basic wearables, while the growth for smart wearables will be a more modest 16.7%.